Okay, so the recording has started. So sensitive data copied to clipboard, also known as pasteboard vulnerability. Okay, pasteboard vulnerability. Okay, so also known as pasteboard vulnerability. So what this is? So these are the issues which basically which are intended leakage happening in the application because of the clipboard where a user's personal information could be leaked. Okay, I have given an example yesterday. For example, when I'm going to an application such as asaf.apk is the application, I'm going to this application, I'm copying the email, and if that email is getting stored in the phone, okay, and I'm able to see that, so that is a vulnerability known as pasteboard vulnerability. So let me write down the definition also. So this are the issues, or we could say vulnerabilities, which happen because unintended unintended leakage leakages leak leakages happens in the application because of the clipboard where a user personal information could be leaked. Okay. So what this definition is saying, basically these are the vulnerabilities which are having basically this are happening because of some unintended leakage happening in the application because of clipboard. Okay, where a user's personal information could be leaked. Example, as if is application, in that application I'm entering information. This is my information, right? User information, and if this information is getting stored in the device somewhere, so this is a vulnerability. Sensitive data copied to clipboard. A lot of individuals have got bounties around $100, $200, 250, maximum 400 you could get, even 500. But yeah, minimum you could get $100 for this vulnerability. Okay, now how to find this? Yesterday I have told you how we could find it, but we have seen few errors, right? But I have fixed that error. Now what you have to do is simply type the first command is adb cell, then we have to type ps grep. Don't worry, I will be explaining the command. Okay, com dot android dot insecure bank video. Why I will be using this command is basically to know the current PID and owner of the application. So I am using this command to get the current process ID and owner of the application. So to get current PID and owner of the application. Clear, guys? So let us try this command. Okay, let us minimize this. Let us open the app and let me type this command, which was adb cell ps grep, then the package name, which was com.android.insecure. And before this command, what you have to do, you have to install this insecure bank application in your Android device. So you have to install this insecure bank application. I have already shared this application in the group. Okay, so you have to type adb cell ps grep and the package name and press enter. After this command, let me one more time, adb cell ps grep Android, 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 Necure Bank V2. Okay. Okay. So now it is working. So you have to open the application, then you have to try this command, which is adb cell ps grep and the package name. The reason we are doing, because we need two things. First is the current user, which is this, and the process ID. Okay. So now what we have to do, the next command that we want is to exploit this thing, okay, to exploit this clipboard vulnerability. For that, what we have to do, we have to type adb cell, then su, then we have to give the user or the owner of the application, which is this one, right, u0a79. Then what we have to do, we have to type service call clipboard. Okay, then we have to type q s16. Okay, and after this, what we have to do, we have to give this package name. So we have to give this package name, and after this, what we have to do, we have to press enter. Before that, what I have to do, I have told you we have to copy something. So I'm copying this email. Okay, so I'm copying this email, which is test@gmail.com. Okay, and let me copy this. And after this, after I have copied this, what I have to do, then I have to press enter. And you could see that this data, this information is getting stored in our device. Can you see, guys? Yes or no? Can you see this? The same email is here also. So this is known as sensitive data copied to clipboard. Okay, so I'm just taking a screenshot so you could get this a minute. So this is the screenshot. Okay, and the commands, let me write it down. So this is the, you could see the command is already written here. Okay, so before this, what I have to explain you, there is one more thing I have to explain you, is basically this service call that you could see, right? There is a command service call. This service call, and let me improve the font size. Okay, now you could see this service call command, right? What this service call is, basically this service call is basically service call clipboard. This service call clipboard, you could see, right, this one, service call clipboard. This service call clipboard is the internal command of the Android OS. Okay, very important to remember is the, what I was typing, internal command of the Android OS, right? So this service call clipboard that you could see, the first one is adb cell, then we have written su. Okay, then we have given the current user, then we have written service call clipboard. This service call clipboard is basically the internal command of Android OS. Then after this, what we are writing, we are writing s16, and before s16, what we are writing 2. Now we have basically three type of clipboard call clipboard has basically three codes. Okay, so this service, okay, so this service call clipboard has three codes. Okay, three codes, we could simply say. The first one is 1, then we have 2, then we have 3. So this are basically used for getting the clipboard text. Okay, it is used to get the clipboard text. Okay, setting clipboard text. Okay, and has clipboard text. Okay, so basically this service called clipboard has three codes. We could also use 1, 2, or 3. Right now we are using 2. Okay, and this 1, 2, and 3 are basically used for getting clipboard text, setting clipboard text, and this, what is this, has clipboard text. Okay, has clipboard text. Okay, first one is clipboard text, then second one is setting clipboard text, and the last one is has clipboard text. Okay, so basically we have this three specific things. First one is getting the clipboard. Okay, sorry, let me getting, there is no the getting clipboard text. Okay, no spaces in between. Then we have setting clipboard. Okay, we have setting clipboard, clipboard text, and the last one is has clipboard text. Okay, so text. So basically we have these three things, not text. Okay, so service call clipboard has three code, 1, 2, and 3, and they are, the first one is getting clipboard text, second one is setting clipboard text, and the last one is has clipboard text. So we have used the second one right now. Okay, you could see we have used second. Okay, you could use anyone if you want, but right now we are using second one. Okay, guys, so this is how we could find this sensitive data copied to clipboard vulnerability. Very easy to find. I have shown you the practical also. There is one POC also for this. Let me show you the POC. application that I was testing in my project. So this is the POC. So this is an application, a Busmate application, which I was testing for our client. So what you could see is basically this is the application, and I'm copying my email. And after copying the email, what is happening? Just see. I'm writing the same command, adb cell su, the user owner of this application, and then the service called clipboard. Okay, command. Now you could see I'm getting the same email. Can you see this, guys? So have you seen the video, guys? Yes or no? Okay. So this is how you could find the vulnerabilities. Okay, this specific vulnerability, sensitive data copied to clipboard. Very easy to find, guys. Nothing uh, that much. Okay. So now the next thing. Today we'll be starting module 12, which is OAuth tokens and 2FA. So first of all, let us see this OAuth tokens. Okay. Understanding OAuth tokens. Understanding OAuth tokens. Okay. So can anyone tell me what OAuth tokens are? S16 is basically the service call. Okay. Can anyone tell me what OAuth tokens are? Anyone? Guys, anyone? What is a OAuth token? Any example? Anyone can give the example? I'm turning the mic on. Anyone give an example for OAuth tokens? How we use this OAuth tokens? No one?
Like OTP, sir.
Oh, not that. No, no, no problem. Now let me explain this. Okay.
Google,
Yeah, someone was saying. Say again.
it's like a third-party authentication for a
Correct,
Google
correct.
authentication or yeah.
Correct, Sanjay. Very good. So yeah, so let me explain this now. So basically, when I'm talking about this OAuth tokens, what OAuth tokens are, basically, this is an open authorization standard which is used by various applications to grant access to the resources. Okay, the resources are the basically app or website. Now, this OAuth only not is applicable for Android application. It is also applicable for the web application. So basically, it is a open source. Okay, it is an open, not source. It is an open authorization. It is an open authorization standard, okay, used in various, okay, VARIOUS, various apps to grant access to the resources. Okay. Now, the next thing in this OAuth tokens are basically for the application. Now this we have understood what this OAuth tokens are, right? Now for app where the OAuth token is implemented, a user basically doesn't have to sign up. For example, I'm going to this Amazon application, right? And in here what we are doing, if we want to register an account, okay, for example, I am a new user and I want to create an account. So what I will be doing, I will be entering my email, my password, okay, then I will be entering other details which are required, right, guys? We have to do this if we want to create a new account, right? Yes or no, guys? Yeah. And even if we are not creating a new account, for example, if I'm going to Amazon and if I want to log in, I have to enter my email and password, right? So this I have to do. But what happens when we are using OAuth tokens? Simply with the help of this OAuth tokens, we could sign in. For example, with the help of third party, such as your Facebook, your Google. If you have used Zomato, how many of you have used Zomato, guys? Okay, so if you have used Zomato, you have seen in Zomato we have an option to log in as like to log in with our Facebook or to log in with our Google. Have you seen? Not only in Zomato, in any application, if you have seen, there is an option to sign in or to log in with your Google or your Facebook. Yeah. So that is what OAuth is, right? So basically, applications where OAuth is implemented, a user doesn't need to sign up. Okay, he doesn't need to sign up or he doesn't need to create a account. Okay, he could directly use the services which are integrated with the application. For example, we could log in into our Zomato. Okay, for example, what we could do, we could let us take the example of Zomato. So in Zomato, what we are doing, we are going to the login page, and if you want to log in, we could log in simply with our email and password, right? This is the thing that we could do. But if we don't want to use this method, there is another method which is known as login with Facebook or any other social media sites or even with Google, right? So this is what OAuth is. We are using third-party sites or or services to sign in. Okay, so let me write this down for the applications where the OAuth. Okay, so this function which I'm telling you, Facebook and Google login, okay, third-party login, this will only be applicable if the website or the application is using OAuth. Okay, if they have implemented OAuth, then only they will be able to use, the user will able to use, they will be able to sign up or sign in with the help of this Facebook or Google or any third-party sites, okay, or accounts. So for the application where OAuth is implemented, okay, user does not have to create an account. Sorry, he could have not to create an account. He could sign up to the application directly with services which are integrated. What are the services? For example, your Facebook, your Google, right? So these are the services. You could integrate any service that you want. Okay, so let me read one more time. So INTE, okay, sorry, GE, yeah. So for the application where OAuth is implemented, a user does not have to create an account. He could sign up or log in to the application directly with services which are integrated with the application. Clear? So this is OAuth token. Now, in OAuth token, we have different version. So when we are talking about OAuth, okay, we have different versions. So in OAuth, we have basically two versions. So the first one is version 1.0 and the second one is version 2.0. Now the major difference between 1 and 2 is of security, right? So this version 1 is having few security flaws. So this is having few security flaws and flaws such as session fixation flaws. Okay, session fixation flaws. So this is having few, we could say, security flaws such as session fixation. Okay. Now the second thing is basically version 2.0, which is used right now. Everyone, if you're using a device which is having this third-party application login such as Facebook or Google, they are using OAuth version 2.0. Okay, so it is used currently. Okay, so we are using this right now. Okay, now what is the structure of this OAuth? So we have understood what OAuth is, we have understood with the example, we have seen the version. What is the structure? Guys, it is very important to remember this type of things, because if you are going for an interview of Android pen testing or even web, same things applies for the web. Okay, so the theory which I am telling you is same for the web also. Okay, so the structure of OAuth tokens. Okay, now how many of you know what JWT tokens are? What are JWT tokens? Guys, I need answers. Be responsive. I am having 164 participants and I'm only getting answers from few of them. I need everyone to respond. Every single one of you start answering. What is JWT tokens? JSON Web Tokens. Anyone can explain? I'm opening the mic. If anyone can explain what this JSON Web Tokens are. Anyone? Okay, so when we are talking about this JSON tokens, basically OAuth support are JWT tokens. Also, this is also known as JSON tokens. Okay, so this is also known as JSON Web Tokens. Okay, now I will be not explaining this in deep. If you want to know about JWT tokens, you could go and you could read about them. Okay, so basically OAuth support this JWT tokens, and this is also known as JSON Web Tokens. Now, basically, this JSON token or JWT token comprises of three things. Okay, so they are having mostly three things. Okay, so they comprises of three things, which are header. So the first thing is header, then the second thing is payload, and the last thing is signature. So it is having three things. Okay, so this JSON Web Token is having three things: header, payload, and signature. Okay. Now, what are the security implications? Now, let us see the vulnerability. Now, to find vulnerability in OAuth, we have different methods. Okay. So first thing is OAuth hard coded. Now, what happens? This OAuth sessions are few times saved in few files and are leaked. So where we could find this? Okay, so the first thing is we could find OAuth hard coded in this folder, which is, I have told you, resources, values, right? Then strings.xml. Can anyone tell me how we could find this file? What process we have to do to find this strings.xml file? No, guys, answer. Yeah, correct. So we have to decompile with the help of which tool?
APK tool.
Correct. So we have to decompile this with the help of APK tool. So we have to use APK tool for decompiling, and after decompiling, we have to see this specific file. So what you have to do, first of all, let us see the second thing also. So this is the first thing. Second thing is basically leaking OAuth tokens. So this is the first thing where hard-coded OAuth hard-coded could be. Okay. Now the second thing is basically leaking OAuth tokens. Now OAuth tokens are leaked few times, and where this OAuth tokens are leaked is basically the share preferences. I have told you this yesterday also, but this is the path where this is leaked. Okay, share preferences. Okay, now what we have to do for finding this vulnerability? First one, we could easily find. What we have to do, we have to go to an application, we have to sign in. Okay, and we have or you could do login. So the first step is to do login with the help of Google or any third party application, okay, or website. So first thing is that you have to log in. After going to that application, and if once you are logged in, what you have to do, you have to go to this path and you have to see if any OAuth token or any session token is leaked or not, or stored in this specific file. If not, that is not a vulnerability. Then you have to come to the second part, which is leaking OAuth tokens in share preferences. So for this, what we have to do, first of all, we have to go to an application. We need an application. Then we have to install that application, and then we have to go to that application. So the first thing that we have to do after opening the application, after opening the app, what we have to do, we have to basically log in into the app with Google or any other third party. Okay, so this is the step that we have to do. So let us take a real life example. So the website that, so sorry, not the website, the application. So just a minute. Let us wait for a few seconds. Okay, so we'll be using this application. Okay, so let me first of all connect the internet. For that, I have to open my Burp Suite. I will be sharing the application. Don't worry for that. First of all, we need net. So let me connect and let me first of all set this so we could get the traffic. So you have to see this also. You have to change your IP every time if that IP is changing. Okay. Right now I'm using different internet, so my IP has changed. So you have to change. If you're using a different Wi-Fi, you have to change IP in Wi-Fi setting also. Keep this in mind, everyone. Okay, now the Wi-Fi is working properly. Let us go back. So we'll be using this application. Okay. So what we have to do first of all, I have written in the notes. So we have to open the app. Then we have to log in with any third-party site. Okay, Google or any site you could use. Okay. So first we have to do complete this step. So click on login. Now we are having two options: Facebook or Google. Okay, we will be selecting Google. So just let me minimize. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen, and I am doing this login process. Okay, right now. So let me do this login process. Okay, guys. So due to some technical issues, this application basically the Google is blocking this application. Okay, if you could see right now, is my screen visible? Okay, so Google is blocking this application. So Google is basically denying me to log in into this application. So I will be not able to show you this vulnerability right now. Okay, because this is basically blocking me. But the steps will be same. I will be writing the steps. So the steps are similar to the one I have told you. So what you have to do, you have to basically go to the application. You have to sign in with Google or any third-party application. After this, what you have to do, you have to go to this path. Okay, for that, what you have to do, you have to type ADB cell. Okay, after typing ADB cell, what you have to do, you have to go to your data path. Okay, data folder. Then what you have to do, you have to go to this application package. Okay, package name. So let me type this ADB cell. Okay, now cd data. ls, we have to get the package name of this application. So the package name for this application is this, okay, from this one, okay. So what I have to do now, I have to do cd and the package name, okay. So let me paste this also. Okay, after this, what we have to do, we have to type ls and we have to see if there is any leak in this shared preferences. Not only in the shared preferences, you could also check in app, web view, anyone, okay. But yeah, you have to only see the main one is shared preferences, okay. cd shared preferences, okay. You have to then type this command, okay. Then you have to type ls and you have to check. Right now this application is already having this thing because previously I have shown this vulnerability to other students, so I'm already having this Google thing, right? You could see, right guys? So I'm already having the leaked session, you could say. So I will open this, okay. With the help of cat, I will open this file, okay. Now you could see right now we are having nothing. So let us try another file. So let us see this file, which is this one, okay. Let us try this one. Okay, now if you could see guys, this file is having few things such as, let us check what this file is having. If we could read it properly, no, nothing. Let us type ls cat. Let's see another file, which is this one. Okay, so guys, you could see we are having this file, right? This specific preferences XML file. Right now, we are not able to log in due to any due to this technical error that I have shown you. But in any other application that you're testing, okay, if you are able to log in, and then you have to come to this part and you have to check every single file in this share preferences. And if you're able to find any session token, any third party thing, okay, let me show you a video for this, okay. Just a minute, give me a minute. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, so let us try in another application. Okay, so this application is not working, no problem. I have found one more application for you guys. Okay, so let me open the device one more time. So these are the steps that we'll be following for every application, okay. So you have to type ls, then cat and the file name, okay. File name. So let me repeat. First of all, what you have to do, you have to open the application, you have to log in. After logging, what you have to do, you have to check this file if any information is there, any token or any session token, okay. Then if you're not able to find, come to this step, type adb cell, go to data folder where this working file, working directory of that application is. Guys, am I audible? Okay, so then what you have to do, you have to type cd, the package name, and then cd share preferences, ls, and then whatever file you will see, you have to check every single file with the help of this cat command, cat and the file name. So these are the commands that we have to follow for finding out leakage, okay. So leaking of our tokens. So this vulnerability name is basically leaking our tokens. Okay, I've already written the name. Sorry. Yeah, leaking our tokens in share preferences. So let us wait. Okay, so we'll be testing this application. This is a real application. You will simply type great ideas, great life on your Play Store and you will get this application. So I have already logged in. Okay, so I have already logged in with my Google. Okay, so I have already logged in into this application. If you could see, I have already logged in, but let me log in again. Okay, yes. Okay, continue with Google. Let me select this one. And I have successfully logged in. If you could see, I'm into this account, right, guys? Yes or no? Let me know fast. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to type ADB cell. Okay, then we have to type CD data ls. What we have to do now, we have to get the package name for this application. So we have to check the package name and let us see the package name manually. This is the package name GIGL. Okay, so we'll be using this CD, the package name. Now where we have to check in share preferences. So select this, enter ls. Now we are having a lot of things. Now if you have used with, like, if you have logged in with the help of Google, you have to only open Google one. Okay, you could try every single file, but yeah, I will be only trying this Google. So let us see if we are able to see any information, tab and the file name. So let us see token. Okay, guys, can you see one thing? We are having a token, right? We are having a token. A token is leaked. Yes or no, guys? Now let us see other file. Okay, this was the first thing that we have seen. Let us check the other files. So let us check this file. Okay, this is the another file. Okay, so we are having GMP ID. No. Session ID value is there. You could see session ID value is present. Okay, session ID value is present, which is not good. Now let us check another thing. Let us check the last file, cat, and the last file. So this file is also having few things. So let's check Google sign in account. You could see details are here. We cannot see. Okay, this is token is also there. Okay, so yeah, this application is basically having this vulnerability. Okay, token leaking. Okay, let us check the last file and cat, the file name. So guys, you could see it is leaking the information. It is leaking the token, right? So this is how we could find this vulnerability. Am I clear, everyone? Okay. Now there is one more method to find this specific vulnerability, which is with the help of Logcat. So this is the first thing that we have seen, right? Now there is one more thing which is leaking out tokens. This was in share preferences, right? Now this is basically leaking out tokens with the help of what? Can anyone tell me any idea, guys? With the help of Android Logcat. I have told you what Android Logcat is, right? You could use Android Logcat or PitCat. Okay. So you could use this, any one of this will work. I have told you in previous session what this are, Logcat and PitCat, right? To see the log files. So you could use this also. So what you have to do, you have to open your PitCat. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do? So first of all, you have to open PitCat or your Logcat. Then what you have to do, then go to the application, go to the app. Then you have to log in with Google or any third party or any other service. Okay, so what you have to do, first of all, you have to open PitCat. Okay, in your appy. Okay, after that, what you have to do, go to any application that you're testing, log in with your Google or any other service, and then you have to check your appy if you are getting any session token or any type of token, right? So first of all, you have to do this, then you have to log in and you have to check if you're getting anything or not, right? You could see we are getting few things, right? So you could see we are getting the auth key. If you could see, guys, authentication key is here, right? Ajay will be not seeing exploit. Okay, don't worry, we'll be not seeing the exploitation because we do not have. So this is the auth key that we are able to see, right? Authentication key. Okay, so yeah, this is how we could find this OAuth tokens vulnerability, leaking OAuth tokens. So we have seen the OAuth token, we have seen the practical. Now let us go to the another vulnerability, which is insecure authentication and authorization and bypassing two-factor authentication. So just a minute, let me copy this. Okay, now guys, sir, at least give us a path so we could explore ourselves about exploitation. Guys, just a minute, give me 2 minutes, I will be back. Okay. Say exploitation is not possible easily, right? You could search, there are plenty of articles on Google. Just type session token exploitation, or you could type authentication token exploitation. You will get a lot of articles. You could go through that specific articles. Okay, give me 2 minutes, I will be back. Okay, so I'm back, guys. So can anyone explain me what is authentication? Anyone? Guys, what is authentication? Anyone? Explain. Open your mic, guys. Try to open your mic and answer the question, okay? It will help you only. What is authentication?
Authentication is basically about accessing the resources.
Okay. Anyone else? Any example?
Hello.
Like biometric authentication. You give your fingerprint to authenticate your phone
Okay.
or your laptop.
Okay. Verifying the user. Okay.
Sir, basically authentication is the process where we verify that someone is someone something of an entity who they claim to be.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So let me explain now authentication. Okay, guys. No more answer. Let me explain now. Okay. So when we are talking about authentication, simply authentication we could say it is a check which is made by the application to know the user that he's claiming to be is legitimate or not. Okay, so basically this legitimacy is done by a secret code, or we could say a secret which is known as password. So this authentication is, let me repeat, so this authentication is a check which is made by the application website or a website to know that the user who he's claiming to be is legitimate. Okay, and this legitimacy is done by validating with a secret which is our password. Okay, so let me write this down. It is a check made by the application or website to know the user that is claiming to be legitimate. Okay, and this legitimacy is done by validity or validating the secret which is password. Right, now let me give an example. For example, if you are going to your Windows, and once you open your laptop, okay, and once you are going to your laptop, you're opening your laptop, you will see a login. Okay, you will have a login page or login UI where there you have to enter your password, right guys? So this is what authentication is. You are going to your Amazon account, you are entering your password, that is authentication, right? It is a check. What it is? It is a check made by the application. What is the application right now? Amazon is the application. So example, let us take Amazon. Okay, Amazon is the application or website. Okay, now what is happening in Amazon? There is a user Asif. He is logging as Asif, and now to basically claim the legitimacy of this user Asif, what Amazon is doing? Amazon is asking a password which is set by Asif only. So Asif will basically enter the password. Okay, this is the password. Now, if this password is correct, now Asif will be access granted. So he will be now having the access to his account. Okay, if this is correct, he will have access. Okay, if this password is correct, he will have access. Similar to this, in Windows, you go to your Windows, you enter your password. If that is correct, you will have access. So this is authentication. Correct, guys? First step of access control to verify the user. Correct, guys? Correct. So in this only we have authentication. We are having a username or email. Okay, and we are having password. So in this authentication, what we are having? We are only having our username and email. Clear, guys? Now, this was brief about authentication. Now we have types of authentication. Can anyone explain me different types of authentication? Anyone? Types of authentication. Types of authentication. Authentication. Types of authentications. Not like this. Okay, these are examples. Biometric tokens. I need types. Like, let me give an example. Single factor authentication is one of the type. Correct. 2FA is another example. 2FA. Right, and the last one is MFA. Okay, so the first one is SFA, then second one is 2FA, and the last one is MFA. Now guys, if you are freshers, let me remind you, a lot of interviewer, if you are going to cybersecurity, they will basically ask what authentication is and types of authentication. You have to remember this. Okay, very important. Even if I am taking the interviews, every time I will basically ask the candidate about this specific question: what is authentication or what is MFA? Okay, so you have to keep this in mind. Now, what is SFA? So this SFA stands for single factor authentication. This stands for single factor authentication. Okay, this SFA stands for single factor authentication, where we only need a username and a password. Okay, where we only need a username and password. So username and password would be present. Okay, so when we are talking about single factor authentication, where we only need username and password. For example, if you're going to an application and if they're only asking for your email and password, so that is single factor authentication. Now 2FA, so this single factor authentication is clear, guys? Yes or no? Okay, now this 2FA. 2FA stands for two-factor authentication. From the name only, you could get the answer. So two-factor authentication. Okay. So when we are talking about two-factor authentication, basically a secret code is delivered, okay, to you by call or SMS or email. So when we are talking about two-factor authentication, a secret code is delivered to you by SMS, call, or email. So in this, what you have to do, you have to first of all type your username or email, then you have to give password. Okay, so the first thing is username and email, then you have to give your password. Okay, after giving your password, you have to enter the OTP. If all this process are correct, then you will be given access. So for the first thing is to enter your email and password. Second step is to enter the OTP. If OTP is correct, you will be given the access. Okay, so for example, if you have used IRCTC website, so it requires, if you have enabled the 2FA, it will require 2FA. Similar to that in Instagram also, if you have enabled 2FA, it will basically have 2FA. Okay, so this is what 2FA is. Now one more thing to keep in mind is that we are using two things right now. So in the SFA, what we were using was something you know, right? So something you know. In SFA, we were only using something you know. So before this, let me explain you these three terms. Something you know, okay. Something you have, okay. Something you know, something you have, something you are. Okay, very important to remember these terms. Okay, now can anyone explain me what this something you are, something you have, something you are is? Very important. Okay, something you know is password. Okay, something you have, what do we have? We have OTP, right? We have OTP because we are having it. We are having a phone where we are getting the OTP. Something you are, what we are, something you are. We have to only focus on this last thing. You are, you have, you know, the last word only. Okay, something you are, what we are, fingerprint. Okay, fingerprint. So what we are having fingerprint, because everyone is having different fingerprint. Okay, fingerprint, or we could say retina scan, right? So this is three things. Something you have, so sorry, something you know is the password. Something you have is basically OTP, because you are having a physical device in which you are getting the OTP. And something you are is basically a fingerprint or a retina scan. So this is few things that we have to remember. So in SFA, we use something you know, because we are having the password. Okay, we are knowing, we are storing that password. Okay, so we are knowing the password. So that is something you are. Something you have, we get OTP, right? So this is something you have. And the last one is something you are. Okay, a fingerprint or retina scan. So this was about 2FA. Clear, guys? Yes, we will have one more hour. Okay, don't worry, guys. We will be having one more hour today. Okay, so let us see the syllabus. Yeah, we will be having one more hour. I think less than 1 hour. Okay, so let us see how much time it will take. No problem. So this is 2FA. Clear, everyone? CAPTCHA is basically a verification to verify if you are a robot or not. Okay, so this was 2FA. Clear? Now come on, let us come to MFA. Now what is MFA? Anyone? MFA stands for multi-factor authentication. It stands for multi-factor authentication. Okay, now let me explain this. So basically this multi-factor authentication, it is the combination of both SFA and 2FA. Okay, so this is the combination of 2FA, okay, 2FA and SFA. Sorry, SFA and 2FA, not this. Okay, so this is the combination of SFA and 2FA. Okay, so it is having both single factor authentication as well as this two-factor authentication. Okay, so in this, what we are having this all three things. Something you know is the password, then something you have is your OTP, and then the last thing is something you are. So when we are talking about multi-factor authentication, we are having all three things: something you know, something you have, something you are. So the first thing that you have to do in multi-factor authentication is that you have to enter your password. Okay, you have to enter your email and password. Second thing, you have to enter your OTP. The last thing is basically your fingerprint or retina. Okay, so this is what 3FA is. Okay, now if you have how many of you have gone to Aadhaar center for changing your name, photo, anything? How many of you have seen this? Gone to any Aadhaar center? Right, so if you have gone there, what the first thing you have to do, you have to give your details, right? Your Aadhaar number. Okay, that then you have to give a OTP which is sent to your phone, and the last thing is that you have to give a fingerprint, right? They scan your fingerprint. Yeah, correct. Eyes also, retina scan also. So that is the thing that they do. So that is a kind of MFA, but we cannot say that is a MFA example. Okay, a easy example. So we have covered what single factor authentication is, what 2FA is, what MFA is. Now let us come to authorization. Now guys, can anyone tell me what is authorization? We have covered authentication. Now what is authorization? Guys, what is authorization? Okay. Okay, so let me explain. So basically, authorization is a check which is made by the application. So only the authorized person get access to the resources. So this is a check which is made by the application so that only the authorized person can get the access to the resources. So it is a check which is made by the app so that only the authorized person can get to the resources. Okay, okay, so it is a check which is made by the app so that only the authorized person can get access. Okay, so this is what authorization is. Now example is basically admin. Okay, admin is an example. I will be giving one more example, don't worry, and user. For example, if we have used window, when we are going to Windows, what happens? We have multiple options. We could log in as a user, we could log in as an admin, right? So that is authorization. For example, if I'm going to this, I'm opening my Windows and I'm entering my details as a user. Okay, but I want to access as an admin, so I could not access. For example, I'm going as an admin, so I will be only having the access of the admin. I will be able to modify, I will be able to change. Whereas if I'm going as a user, I will be not having every permissions. Okay, I will be only able to read it. So every we could say every person is having different permissions. So it is a check which is made by the application to check if the authorized person is getting access or not. For example, admin will get different type of permissions. A user will get a different type of permissions. Clear, guys? So this is what authorization is. Now we have different types of authorization. Okay, so we have types of authorization. We have types of authorization. Okay, the first one is role based. Okay, it is role based. Okay, and the second one is rule based. Now, role based is basically the admin, the user. So let me explain this one with the example. So what is happening? Let me take an example of a company. So in a company, there might there might be roles such as employee. Okay, there could be a role such as employee. Okay, there could be a role such as manager. Then there could be a admin also. So there is a company, and in that company there are roles such as employee, manager, admin. Now what is happening? An employee may only have access. Okay, may only have read access. Okay, read access to certain files. Okay, whereas a manager might have both read and write access, and an admin could have full access. So let me explain this, what I am explaining right now. In role-based authorization, what is happening? There is a company, for example, CyberHost. Now in CyberHost, there are employees. For example, I'm not an employee, I'm at a manager position. So for example, you are employees. Okay, so there is a company, the CyberHost, right? And in the CyberHost, we are having employees. For example, let me take Deepak as an employee. Deepak is an employee. Now Deepak is only having access for a certain files. Also, he could only read some files. Okay, he is only having read access. So for example, there is a file named as asif.txt. So he could only read that file. Whereas in the CyberHost, okay, in the CyberHost, there is Asif who is at a manager position. Now what Asif is able to do, he is able to read as well as write. So he could read and write. He's having read and write access to the files. Okay, to the certain file. Okay, now he's having access to the certain files. He could edit it, he could do anything what he wants. Okay, so this is the thing he could do. Okay, now there is a company CyberHost. Deepak is an employee. Okay, remember, Deepak is an employee. Okay, this is just an example. Asif is a manager. Okay, so there is a company CyberHost. Deepak is an employee. He is having only read access to a specific file. Let me take this file. Okay, this is a file. Just for example, there could be plenty of files or resources. So Deepak is only having read access to this file, whereas Asif is the manager who is having read and write access to this file. But there is one more individual in this company who is admin, such as CEO. Okay, he is having all the access. Okay, he is having all the access: read, write, delete. Okay, he's having all the access. Okay, he could do anything with this file, and he's having access of all files, not a certain file, access of all files. He could see every single files which is present in the company. Right now this two employees are only able to see Asif file. Okay, asif.txt, but admin could see every single file which is present. So this is role based. So what is happening in a company, there might be different roles: employee, manager, admin. So an employee could only have read access of a certain file, a manager could have both read and write access, a admin could have whole access. He will have the full control. Okay, so this is role based authorization. Now rule based authorization, let me take another example for this also. So in rule based, what happens, there could be a rule that state that only the user who are working in the finance department can access the financial record between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So for example, there is a financial company, a bank. Let us take a bank. Okay, there is a bank. In that bank, there is a department. Okay, a finance department. Okay, so in a bank, there is a finance department. Okay, in this finance department, what is happening? Employees could only access, they could only access the financial records between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, on weekdays. So this is a rule based. So let me explain this. So what is happening? So basically, there is a bank. In that bank, there is a finance department. Okay, now as an admin, what I am doing, I am implementing a rule. And what the rule is, basically, all the employees who are working in finance department could access the financial record of that company as well as other users and customers between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends only. If they will try to access their account after 5 p.m. on weekdays, okay, if they try to log in after 5 p.m., okay, on weekdays, they will be not given permission, okay, they will be denied, okay, the permission will be denied, okay. Similar, if they are trying to log in on weekdays, sorry, weekend, okay, if they are trying to access on weekend, for example Saturday and Sunday, if they are trying to log in on Saturday, Sunday, they will be denied because they are only given access on weekdays. So this is rule based because I am setting rules. First rule is basically they have to log in between 9 to 5 p.m. and the second thing is only on weekdays, right guys? So this is an example. Clear guys? Everyone, yes or no? So we are having two types of authorization, role based and rule based. This one was role based. In our Windows we have different user, right? Admin, user, so that is role based. If you're working in a company, then you will be having a rule based. There also you could have role based, but if you are working like if in a company the admin is giving some rule based authorization, then that could be also present, okay. So that is about this authorization and types of authorization. Clear guys? Now let us come to the main part. The reason why we have covered this topic was, let us see the topic. What was the name? It was this, bypassing two-factor authentication. So we have learned what authentication and authorization is. Now let us see the practical use of this thing, okay. So very important, bypassing two-factor authentication, bypassing OTP, okay. So this is the topic. Guys, any doubt, anything if you are having, let me know. Okay, so let me start, okay. Okay, so how to find this 2FA? So for finding 2FA, two-factor authentication, we are having plenty of ways. So what is two-factor authentication? I have explained you. Now how to bypass OTP, okay? How to bypass OTP, okay? For example, you are going to an application and in that application, after entering your email and password, OTP is sent to the registered user, okay? So you have to give the OTP. We are talking about 2FA. So how to bypass this? We could easily bypass this if the application is vulnerable. So now what we have to do, first of all, there are plenty of ways to bypass OTP. We are having a lot of ways. The first one is leakage, okay. The first thing is leakage of OTP in response. I will be explaining, don't worry, okay. Leakage of OTP, the same thing applies for web application also, okay. So a lot of things are similar in web and Android when we are talking about dynamic testing, okay. Changing response body, okay, body, such as if it is incorrect, we could make it to valid OTP, okay. If it is incorrect, we could make it to valid, okay. Or if it is incorrect, we could change it to correct, okay. If it is not valid, we could make it valid. So just a minute. Incorrect to correct, not valid OTP to valid OTP. Okay, so changing response body. Third one is changing the response code. Sorry, changing the status code. Okay, and the last thing is brute force. Okay, brute force. We are having a lot of ways. This is not only the ways for bypassing OTPs. There are plenty of ways, right? We are having a lot of ways. You could brute force it. You could basically change the status code. Can anyone tell me status code? 5 type of status code. Anyone? Tell me the status codes. HTTP status code. Okay, so when we are talking about HTTP status code, we are having 100 to 199, sorry, 100 to 199, which is informational. Okay, so this status code is informational. Okay, then this is success. From 200 to 299, this is success. Guys, can anyone tell me what 300 is? Guys, anyone? Redirect, correct. What is 400? So this is redirection, right? This is redirection. This is client side error. And the last one is, this is from 500 to 529. And this is server side error. So we are having 5 types of errors. 100 to 199 is informational. 200 to 299 is success. 300 to 399 is redirection. 400 to 499 is client side error, and 500 to 599 is server side error. So this is basically this status code. Now, if we are getting 400 error, what we could do, we could change it to 200. I will be showing the practical, so don't worry. Okay, so this is how we could do this one. Okay, changing the response status code. And the brute force is basically we could perform brute force. Okay, so now let us see how we could perform this. Okay, just a minute, guys. Let me drink water. Guys, we could take 5-minute breaks. Okay, you could take 5-minute break. So I will be back after 5 minutes. So right now it is 8:23. I will be back. Okay, after 5 minutes. So yeah, take break. Aman, we will try to complete it today. Okay, we will take class till 9. If we are not able to complete it today, we will try completing it tomorrow. Okay, don't worry, we will try to complete it today only. Let's see the syllabus. We are only left with this. Okay, so let us see. Okay, so let's start, guys. Okay, everyone, come back. Today, I will be removing like 28 students will be removed today whose attendance are low. So we'll be removing 28 students today. Don't worry, guys. I Okay. So brute force. I was talking about brute force. So in brute force, we could also brute force the OTP. Okay. So if it is 4-digit OTP, we could brute force it. Okay. If it is a 4-digit OTP, you could easily brute force from 000 to 999, then 9. Okay. So if okay, so those who are not joining by their real name, they will face problem as your name will not match with the database, so you will be removed. Don't worry, if you will be removed, just message Sam, he will add you back. Okay. So now the 4-digit OTP, if there is from 000 to 999, this could be brute forced. Okay. But if there is a 6-digit OTP, this could not be brute force easily. And if you will submit this type of bug, they will decline. Okay. So never submit 6-digit OTP bypass. Okay. OTP brute force. Okay. So 000 to 999,999. So never submit any 6-digit OTP brute force report. Only submit 4-digit OTP brute force thing. Okay. So when is the project deadline? Don't worry, details will be sent to you in the WhatsApp group, Arman. Don't worry for that. Okay, so this is about OTP. And one more thing, guys, I think today we'll be taking a lot of time, so I will be not continuing today. Today we'll be completing this OTP bypass only, and tomorrow we'll be completing module 13 and 14. Is that okay, everyone? Let me know if this will work. So today we'll be completing module 12. Tomorrow we'll be completing module 13 and 14 because it will take a lot of time today. So yeah, we'll be completing this tomorrow. Okay. Project time will be given. Don't worry, everyone. Okay. So today we will try to complete module 12. Okay. So just OTP bypass is left. After that, we will end the session. So let us see the OTP bypass. So what we have to do, we have to open an application. Okay. So you could open any application that you want to test. So first of all, I have to open my Burp Suite. Very important. Burp Suite is required. Now I will be using an application, a real life application, a real time application, Raj Academy. If you will go to Play Store, simply go to your Play Store and type Raj Academy. This is a real application. Okay, Raj Academy. So this is a real application. Sir, how much time will be given to complete the project assigned? 3 days. 3 to 4 days. Okay, 3 to 4 days will be given. Okay, that is sufficient time. 3 days. Okay. Okay, let me explain this. Don't worry, Pavan. So this is basically if the application is sending 4-digit OTP, and if you will try to brute force, then if you are sending this, for example, there is an application asif.apk and you are performing brute force. Okay, you are performing brute force attack, and if that brute force attack is successful, then you could report it because it is 4-digit OTP. But if you will try brute force in the 6-digit, it will take long time. This is not possible. Okay, OTP will happen, but if you will report this, for example, if you're reporting this vulnerability 6-digit one, okay, 6-digit OTP brute force. So what will happen? He will basically say, or the bug bounty program individual will say, this is not valid, not valid. Okay, so always only try to focus on this 4-digit OTP brute force. Okay, so we are having different ways, changing response body, changing status code, leaking OTP in response, right? And brute force. So there are plenty of ways also. Sir, I was running the Android phone on Genymotion and I got the error that this machine could not be started. Try to restart your device, try to reinstall Genymotion. If the problem continues, message Sam. Okay. Now let us see the practical. So for OTP bypass, we'll be using this application. This is a real application that we'll be using. Okay. So Raj Academy is the application. You could see it is having 10K downloads. Now let us see how we could exploit this. Guys, one more thing, all the application that I'm showing, real-time application, do not report the vulnerability to the company. The reason behind this is basically that finding this vulnerability and showing this vulnerabilities to them, showing this vulnerabilities to you guys is important, right? I could show all the vulnerability in demo labs also, right? I could take any demo lab and I could show all the practicals, but I am showing you this all the vulnerabilities in real life applications, okay? The application which you will get on Play Store. So do not report them, do not report the vulnerability to them, okay? Do not report, guys, okay? You can try this vulnerability, but do not report the vulnerability, okay? So that is the case. Do not report any vulnerability that I am showing you. For example, if I am showing you OTP bypass in this Raj Academy, do not email them about this vulnerability, because I am using this app to show you the practicals. Am I clear? Yes or no, guys? Everyone? Okay. So let us use this Raj Academy, okay? And let us see how we could do OTP bypass. Now let me just log out. Now anyone, if you want, you could create an account. Go anyone. Download this Raj Academy app and create an account. Anyone, go fast. Guys, anyone. Go to this Raj Academy, okay? Go to this Raj Academy, go to Play Store, download this application fast and create an account. After creating an account, let me know the number from which you have created. I will try to bypass OTP for that specific number. Okay, send your number. Send your number. Anyone who has created the account. Guys, first, anyone, go to Raj Academy, sign up, create a new account, and send your number so I could show you OTP bypass. I'm waiting, guys. Is my voice audible? Yes or no? Okay. Fast. You could bypass OTP at login and sign up anywhere, okay? It doesn't matter. If the application is vulnerable, you will be able to bypass anywhere. Guys, anyone has created the account? Yes or no? Okay, so Vikas has sent his number. So let me use his number. So this is the number you'll be using, okay? So this is the account of Vikas, okay? So let us try to bypass, okay? For that, what I'm doing, first of all, I'm trying to intercept this request. So let me turn on my intercept and let me click on continue. So now you could see I'm having this, okay, request. Now what I will be doing, I will be right clicking and I will be clicking on this do intercept response to this request. And I will click on forward. Now, if you could see, sorry, false, no registered user. Because you have not created the account, I think. No problem. Let me create account. Okay. So test. This is the phone number. Okay. Now, let me give a random email ID. Location. Okay. And let me turn on my intercept and let me click on create an account. Before that, I agree to terms and conditions, create an account. So what I have to do, I have to do intercept, response to this request, forward. And if you could see, guys, and Vikas, if you could see, this OTP is sent to your phone number, yes or no? The same OTP. Vikas, is this OTP sent to your phone number or not? Right? So this, the first thing that I have shown you is this one, leaking OTP in response. So we are able to see the OTP in the response. So this application is basically leaking the OTP in response, right? So this is the OTP 9792. So let us try the OTP 9792, right? So you could see we have successfully created an account. Can you see, guys? This is how we perform OTP bypass. Now you could see I have created an account with Vikas phone number, right? This is OTP bypass. Authentication. This vulnerabilities comes under authentication. High severity. Okay, this is a high severity vulnerability. If you are able to go to anyone's account, that is account takeover. This is high severity vulnerability. Don't worry, in IDOR, in tomorrow's session, I will be showing you how to take this OTP bypass to critical level. Okay, so this is high level vulnerability. even you could say critical if you are able to get more sensitive detail of any user. Okay, so this is high level vulnerability, or you could say critical. Both will work, high and critical. Okay, because you are having access. So this is how we could do OTP bypass. This was one of the example. You could basically, what we are doing right now, we are basically, the OTP is leaked, right? The OTP is leaked. We are doing nothing. We are just seeing the response. Okay, what we are doing, we are only seeing the response. Okay, post request. So this is the response that we are getting. Okay, clear guys, everyone? Yes, same way in the web application also. Same way. What you have to do, go to your Bob suite, go to Bob suite. Okay, in Bob suite, what you have to do, intercept the request. Okay, request, for example, the login request. Okay, and then what you have to do, you have to click on do intercept. Okay, response. Okay, so what you have to do in this case, you could check once we are doing this. Okay, so you have to right click and you have to click on this do intercept. Okay, response to this request. Okay, so you have to select this option. Let me take a screenshot also for you guys. So you have to select this option. Okay, so you have to select this option, which is this one, response to this request. Okay, so this is how we could simply do this. Okay, so you could see we are able to see this after selecting this option. Okay, so this was about this thing, leaking OTP in response. Now we could change the body also, right? Now let me show you a POC for this one, changing response body. Okay, and changing the status code. Okay, just give me a minute so I could show you the POC. Mail. Okay, is it possible to use code obfuscation for web application? For web application, it is not possible because you could download from any third party, right? It is not possible that much, but yeah, you could try, but it is not possible to FA. But there are different ways, such as source code. You could try implementing few things in your code, right? So let me show you a example of this OTP bypass. OTP bypass. So I'm right now showing you some POCs for this status code one and this second one, response body one. So let me see if I'm having a POC. Okay, so this is one of the POC, guys, you could see, right? So let us see what is happening in this POC. So first of all, what I'm doing, I'm entering a random number, then a 6-digit OTP is sent. Now what I'm doing, I'm entering any random 6-digit number. Okay, now before going to confirming this option, what I'm doing, I'm turning my intercept on. Okay, then I'm clicking on confirm. Now I'm having this request, the OTP. What I will be doing, I will be right clicking and I will be doing do intercept. Okay, now response to this request. Now I will forward this, and now you could see I'm having, first of all, you could see the status code is 200, right guys? Can you see this? The status code is 400, right? Which is error. Guys, can you see this? The status code is what? 400, bad request. Guys, yes or no? Can you see this? It is 400, bad request. Now what I will be doing, I will be changing it to 200 success request. Okay, so I will be changing it to 200 success request. Okay, success request. So let us see what I am doing in this video. I will be sharing this video also. So see what I'm doing right now. So right now I'm doing is changing the status code. Okay, I'm doing 200 success. Okay, You can type request or not, it depends on you. Now one more thing that I'm doing, I'm changing the response. Okay, I'm changing is the second thing that I have told you. The first thing that we are doing is basically changing the status code, right? We are right now changing the status code, this one. Okay, let me copy the both thing and let me paste it. Okay, so the first thing that we were doing is this. Okay, we were changing the status code. This is the first thing that we are doing, guys, right? We are changing the status code. We are changing the status code from 400 to 200. And the next thing is that what we are doing is basically we are changing the response body. You could see OTP is invalid. What I am doing, I am changing this OTP is invalid to OTP is valid. Okay, and same thing to the next one also. I will be typing OTP valid. Okay, so the first thing that I was doing is changing the status code, and the second thing that I'm doing is basically changing the response body. Okay, so let us see the video. So see what I'm doing. I'm making changes. OTP is valid. OTP is valid. Now I'm forwarding this. Forwarding this request, and you could see I have successfully created an account. Before this, let us see if we are getting any error. You have to check every single request for any errors. Okay, if you are getting errors, you have to make changes. Okay, so you could see it is saying is phone verified. So you have to make it true also, right? So many times what will happen, it will make it successful in one time only, but few times, few scenarios are there that you have to do this also. So now I'm typing true. Okay, then I'm forwarding this. Forwarding. I'm checking this request also because I think there is something in this. So you have to check it. Let us see if I'm getting anything. Now, just wait for a few seconds. Now, if you could see, I have successfully created an account. Guys, can you see this? I have successfully created an account, right? So this is how we could do OTP bypass. I will be sharing the POC. So this is the thing that we have done. Let me show you one more POC for this. Okay, so this is one more POC I'm showing you. How many of you know Apni Kaksha, Aman Dattarwal? How many of you know them? Guys, how many of you know Aman Dattarwal? So his application Apni Kaksha was also vulnerable when he launched his application. So this application was vulnerable in 2021. Now they have patched it. So what I will be doing, I will be entering the email. Sorry, I will be entering the OTP. Sorry, I will be entering the number. Okay, so this is the POC. This is the video that you are able to see. What I am doing, simply I am entering the number. After entering the number, I am sending a OTP. Now what I will be doing, I will be entering some random 4-digit OTP, right? Random 4-digit OTP. Now you can see, guys, status code is 400 bad request. I will be making changes. 200 success. Okay, just see what I'm doing. 200 success. Then status code, I'm changing to 200 and making this invalid OTP to valid. And I'm forwarding this. Okay. Now, if you could see, I have successfully created an account and I have done OTP bypass. So this is how we could perform OTP bypass. Very easy. All right. So we have seen different methods. For example, we have seen leaking OTP in response. We have seen changing body. We have seen changing the status code. So today we have completed our OTP bypass topic. So we have completed module 12. Okay. I will be sending the POCs. So don't worry. Tomorrow we will be starting with module 13 and tomorrow we will be completing this. Okay, within 1 hour. So don't worry. So tomorrow will be the last session, I think, because I'm saying the same thing from last 2 sessions. So tomorrow will be the last session, I promise. So yeah, thank you guys. If you are having any doubts, let me know. Guys, if you are having any doubts, let me know, or else I will be ending the session. Okay. Arman, I will basically, you could send this message to Sam, okay, because he will answer your any doubts, okay. So you could message him according, like, regarding this group chat, okay. So just message him, he will let you know. Okay, so thank you for joining, guys. Bye bye. Good night. See you tomorrow.